All right, we're live for Fireside Chat number 165. So, a fair bit to talk about today. I think we'll start with number one. Solyos is now an admiral. And I generally, to this point, I have not made huge announcements for promotions up to captain, just congratulating people in Mead Hall and whatnot. But with Admiral, it's a bit different because when I originally included this rank, it's a pretty standard rank in the fleet system for those of you familiar with a third fleet or going back. But I reworked the system a little bit, and for Admiral, this is specifically basically an Admiral is essentially second in command and is sort of uh, the will of the fleet admiral, essentially. So Solyos has already been kind of working on some stuff. Specifically, it is supposed to be more of a second pair of eyes for the top level of leadership as well. I would say the core of what he's been doing and what his duties are is just general making sure the clan is running smoothly, enforcing rules, just helping with some of the workload of administration, which includes really a lot of stuff. It's hard to get into specifically, but you can look through job boards, some of that kind of stuff. Documentation, running like clan events, not just like the weekly events that people host, but stuff like festivals, Yule anniversary, that kind of thing. There's a lot of stuff that has to be maintained on the website, on the forums, on Discord. He and a few others actually met this Monday to discuss the new WA wiki, which is up at wiki.wicer.net. It has basically nothing on it, unfortunately. We're really just getting started with it, but hopefully we'll be able to start putting some stuff on there, especially transferring all of the codex of the ICER from the forums on there and updating all of that. That's a lot of work, but it should be fun, and I think that will be pretty cool once we have a real significant amount of information on there. It's going to be a really useful resource. Another thing he's been doing and is supposed to do is assigning duties to officers and coordinating officers, trainees, and trainers. Getting that all done. We do now have an officer training set up. So basically, that includes a few different steps, mostly running through stuff with your trainer, like hypothetical situations, talking about what you should do, what you would do in situations, checking your judgment and such. It's also some reading, learning a little bit about WA and how it works, its history, its organization, etc. It's also some stuff, a lot of hands-on stuff, like having you perform the duty that your trainer does one time, having you do the member review duty, if you haven't already, do that once, and also having you run and or host some events. And that's basically it. So I'll make an announcement pretty soon once we have this finalized. We're kind of putting the finishing touches on the officer manual, I'd say. If you are a current or former officer, please talk to me. I'm trying to get advice from current and former officers for future officers and incorporate that in the manual. And we don't have too much right now, just some little tidbits. A fair bit from me, and then that's pretty close to it. Just a few others have given a sentence or two, and that's all. If that's all you have, that's totally fine. But I really want to have a lot of different people contributing to that, and a pretty good sized advice section in that. So talk to me if you are a current or former officer, so that we can get that in there and expand that. But other than that, it's pretty close to complete. So we're basically going ahead and moving forward with this officer training. So basically, once you complete it, you can move on from, you have to be Master Chief Petty Officer to start it. You are assigned a trainer, and you kind of go through the training. You get up to 4 months to complete it. You shouldn't need nearly that much, but I mean, with LOAs and real life and whatnot, you might perhaps. So there's a lot of leeway there. But I think that generally you should be able to complete it within about a month if you just put a little bit of time into it. And yeah, so like I said, I'll be making an announcement for that. If you want to see the officer manual now, let me know. I can provide a link, but I will post the link and announcements when I do when we have that closer to a state of completion. It's basically done, but like I said, I want to add a little bit of a device, and yeah. So that's going to be something that's coming out, and as well, we've been working on a lot of different documentation stuff. I update a lot of people's profiles in the profiles channel, and I've been talking to people in Special Forces Command, Council of Lords, Command Center, and all thing about updating documentation, We've got basically everything from the Dane Edda, New Edda, and the archives, Vesperborg's archives specifically, now on Discord under the library section. So there's a ton of stuff to look through if anyone's interested. Huge amount of stuff in there. All the history lore you could possibly want is pretty much in there. The forums are still really useful. You can find the real interactions from the past 11 years on there. But the more organized and also dramatic sides of the story, you obviously are going to find in the archives. And all this stuff is still in the forums too, but now it's easy access on Discord as well. So that stuff is all out there, and yeah, part of that is I'm trying to update the houses and families thread. That is, I believe, complete. Although I think I even found, looking through stuff, sometimes I still find evidence of new families. And I think I actually did find that going back real far. Let me double check this. Kind of in the process of moving, so some of my files are sort of scattered between different hard drives and computers, unfortunately. But let me find the specific one I am looking for. Should be this. I think maybe here. Yes. Yeah, so what I believe was the Sjoerling family was at one point called Family Ultima, I believe. And there was also a Marling family in House Dane, the Sons of Brandemar, and there was also a Jorling, or Jorling, family in House Dippity at one point. And in House Thief, there was Family Shorty, named after Shorty Power. And Thief was also stylized with a capital F at the end. So a few little miscellaneous things that maybe were recorded somewhere, but not widespread enough. So I made some notes here, and am planning on adding some of that as well. I think other than that, Book of Names updated. I believe I talked about that last time. I don't think too much. I know we've been doing some lineage research, so be sure to double check your house channel, get in contact with your lord. We're trying to do some lineage chart updates. I think Commander's pretty well up to date, but the rest of us do need to get that done. Speaking for House Dippity myself, I do need to get that done pretty soon. I know Gighugger's been working really hard on tracking down some old lineage and stuff, which has been really fun for me. Cool to see him doing that, but fun to kind of do some of that research myself, try to help out, and kind of learn some stuff in the process. So we're kind of in that lineage mode right now. But I think that will probably about do it. So I'll go ahead and sign off for a bit here. I should be back for office hours shortly.